guys, this is Feeder, and as I'm sure you've noticed, unless you've been on vacation for weeks or something away from a computer, there's some new stuff going on with items in Dota, so I'm going to put a hold on trading tips videos for now because I don't even know what's going on after the recent patch. But that's my cat, if you can hear things being knocked down. She's being evil. Sorry about that. So I figured I would do a quick video on one of the new features, which is item crafting. So I'm going to get over into my inventory here and do a couple of recipes, and I have a bunch of different kinds to do. God damn it, that cat is the worst cat ever. And then I'm going to do one thing where I'm going to just open up a slot on an item and add an inscribed gem so I can show you guys how that works. So, while my cat destroys my entire desk, I'm just going to keep going because I can't stop if I want to use all these recipes for you guys. Alright, so a little bit about how these recipes work. Each one has some requirements, and like this one, for example, is Polymorph Common items. What this does, a polymorph recipe will take items of a rarity and crush them into a single item of the same rarity. So why would you want to do this? You would want to do this in a situation where there's a lot of variation in the prices of those items. So if you have 3 really cheap of something, you have a chance to get something expensive of that same rarity. So polymorph mythical items is actually quite good because there are plenty of cheap mythical things available on Steam Market, like mammoth bait, for example, which I bought a little supply of before this, and a couple other things. You have to know what you're looking for. Usually announcers and stuff like that are pretty cheap. So that is where that's actually worth it. I'm going to do a common one anyway just to show you first. Another type of scroll is augment. An augment takes a couple specific items which will be listed on the recipe. So you can see this one takes a hammer of Thunder Wrath's Culling and an ancestral cloak, and also a bunch of random of that rarity, and then outputs an item of the next rarity up. So this is a way to upgrade your items. The augment rare is far more expensive than augment uncommon or common, so you can really go to town with that and sometimes get some pretty cool stuff. Finally, and I don't know if this is just Diretide or if it's going to stick around, there's the materialize item, which takes essences and pops an item out of them, so that's going to be fun. There's also the cursed item, which takes a shadow essence, and this promises at least an uncommon item, and it gives it the tag of cursed, which you can use to make the hollow jack pumpkin thing, which I'm not going to make because you can buy it for much cheaper than you can make it, but it's also an option. And last but not least, legendary... Oh, that's not true. I'm not covering like the recipes to make hammers and chisels, but those exist as well. But the one other recipe I'm going to do is I'm going to make some broken shackles for alchemist, and you can make a lot of the genuine items that are available by buying t-shirts or hoodies like the one I'm wearing, but now you can make a non-genuine version. It tends to be very expensive. Depends on the item, how much people are charging for the recipe, but it takes usually 5 mythical items to build these things, so depending what those mythicals are that they list, which there are 3, it can be very, very expensive. Alright, so I'm just going to go through these at this point. So let's craft first Polymorph Common. So pick, you know, your favorite cheapo commons that you don't really want. Hit apply. It's going to warn you that you can't get those items back. And do a little flashy thing, and boom, you get a new one. I think I already have this item, but it's pretty cool anyway. One of the nice things is you can take some, you know, junk items like the whole Axe Witch Doctor Omni rares that you used to not be able to trade anywhere and crush them into items which are sometimes parts of sets or something like that, which is pretty cool. Alright, augment rare items. So I'm going to get a random mythical item out of this, and I got extra hammers of Thunder Wrath's Calling and plenty of Omni Knight capes for this. They were about 50 cents on the Steam Market. So total, if this recipe has 8 rares going into it, that's like $4. So I have to hope for really good mythical here, but it's partly for demonstration purposes that I decided to do this, so here we go. Alright. nice way to farm couriers. Not unusual, but they're still pretty damn cool. So I'm going to add that to my little non-unusual courier row there. And let's go for the next one. By the way, one thing that's nice about crafting is occasionally you will drop additional crafting recipes when you craft things. So hopefully that'll happen at least once so you guys can see it here. So materialize item, there we go. I got a common mantle for Bloodseeker, so pretty trashy. But also a, well, pretty trashy too, Polymorph Common items scroll, which takes 4 instead of 3. And it's random actually how many things or what things it'll take. So kind of a junky recipe, but that's fine. It was pretty much free. Those essences are super cheap, or you can get them by playing Diretide, of course, which is a lot of fun. And the materialized item recipes drop from there as well. Alright, so cursed item, here we go. And the shadow essences are available for about 50 to 60 cents last I checked. Okay, cursed Nomad's Edge offhand. So a little blade there for anti-mage. Cursed doesn't mean anything as far as I know, besides the fact that you can make that hollow jack out of it. I don't know if they're planning to do anything else with that or not, but so it goes. Okay, polymorph mythicals. So I'm going to take some of the fairly cheap mythicals I have lying around. Plenty of mammoth bait. The wards purchased and kills and all that good stuff is actually mythical. And I imagine once we run out of things like mammoth bait, that'll probably be the go-to, because it's about $1. And $1 is pretty good for a mythical item on the Steam market if that's where you're looking. But for now I will just use these mammoth baits and this announcer, which I don't really want. So come on, something good. It's probably oh, cool! Okay, that's badass. That is a new staff for Rubik that I saw. Prestidigitator's Source of Sorcery. That's pretty sweet. Very fancy. I have no idea how much that's worth, but it's pretty cool. Alright, so that was neat. Alright, one more. So let me get that out of there so I don't accidentally crush that into something else. I'll just put that on my courier page for now. Alright, so now I'm going to make something where I actually know what I'm going to get out of it. Broken Shackles for Alchemist. As you can see, I selected a recipe with some very cheap components. Defense Grade Announcer, which is a little more than $1. Death Ripper, which I think was $1.35. And a Tegu, which is a little more than $1. So poor couriers, I'm going to reincarnate them, not murder them, reincarnate them as a Broken Shackles for Alchemist here. Let's see, I think for the last mythical I will use one of these. Let's go with the kills. And that's pretty decently cheap actually. I think the recipe cost me like $3.50, which was a lot more expensive than some of the other recipes because of the components were cheap. Awesome. Let's see this. That's pretty cool. So since I am the worst alchemist ever to grace my MMR bracket, I will certainly sell these, but I might enjoy them for a game or two before I do that. That's pretty cool. Yay. Okay, one more thing I wanted to show before I end this video is how to add a socket to an item so you can add these lovely gems and make it track things. So without further ado, a couple of tools that were introduced. Artificer's Hammer and Artificer's Chisel. And the hammer, let's see, I guess I don't need to, let's take something out of here. I already got this gem out, but I'll show you how you would get a gem out of an item if you wanted to use it. Right click on your hammer, click the item, say yes, I want to release the gems. That will preserve the item and empty the socket. It will use up 1 charge on your hammer, and you will get out whatever gem was in there. This does not work this way for unusual couriers. So please, if you get an unusual Artificer's Hammer, be forewarned that using that hammer will get those gems out for you, but it will also destroy the courier that you use it on. So do not do that the way you use these on regular items. These hammers are totally reversible. You still have your item. If you want to, you can put the gem right back in. So, okay, that's how you get a gem out. So once you've got your gem out that you want to use, you need an Artificer's Chisel. Comes with charges as well. say socket item. Oh, I can't socket the ward? That is so lame. Okay, apparently wards can't hold item slots. That's okay, I just got a wicked cool Rubik's staff, so let's do wards purchased on that. Okay, so you click right there, it's going to add an empty socket. And then it's pretty easy, just right click on the item, go to socketing, and you'll be able to see the sockets that you have available. And go ahead and pick out which gem you would like to put, drag it, release into the socket, hit apply, and say yes. And boom! I now have an inscribed Prestigitators Source of Sorcery. It's not going to count it as inscribed, I guess, but it will count the wards that I purchase when I have this item equipped and play as Rubik. Yeah, so that is crafting. I feel like I've dropped more extra crafting recipes other times that I've done this than I did this time, so I don't know what the rate for that is, but it's actually not too bad, so nice thing to do. You can get like 1 or 2 scroll cases and then just keep going, or it might be better honestly to just buy the recipes that you want on the Steam market, because they've gotten pretty cheap. Okay, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave those in the comments. As always, criticism is appreciated, and compliments are never bad either. If you like the video, go ahead and click the like button and subscribe. I will probably do a Diretide chest unboxing very soon, so tune in for that if you guys want to see me open some chests. I'm going to tell you that I already unboxed a couple without recording it. And I opened this lovely llama on my first box, so it can't really get better than that, but I'll still do a video for your all's benefit. Just wanted to show you. Alright guys, have a great night. Happy Diretide to those of you who are playing it, and I'll see you guys next time.